$8,100 twin turbo kit.
$3,500 single turbo kit.
Does more expensive mean more better?
Let's find out.
I hope our cars don't blow up.
Yo, it was just on fire.
Oh my god.
Turbos!
Yeah. We bought two nearly identical Nissan 350Zs and we've been modifying them to be fun daily drivers that you can take to the track.
1Z, Moaz, gets a lot of really cool, expensive parts that I've always wanted, and Nolan's car gets a bunch of cheap parts.
Then we test them to see which components are actually worth spending your hard-earned money on.
Brakes, tires, coilovers. All of those things help improve the way that your car interacts with the road, but we haven't done a single mod that directly gives our cars a more power, baby.
So that's what we're doing today. More power.
More power, baby! My catchphrase, dude! Biggest thing that this bad boy comes with, instructions. It's like IKEA. I put a shelf together this weekend in my garage. This should be no different. Little boys.
Little boosty boys here.
Your turbo's bigger than mine.
Big turbo.
We also added a Tomai titanium exhaust.
So sick.
It's so sick.
Now, it might seem odd that James is running a twin and I'm doing a single, but there isn't really such thing as a cheap twin turbo kit. And we're more about comparing what you can get for different price points.
We're gonna get these turbs installed, dyno them, and immediately drive 800 miles to Albuquerque, New Mexico to hit the track and see who makes a more power, baby.
Turbochargers work like this. Exhaust gas enters the hot side of the turbo, which spins a turbine inside. There's a shaft that joins the two turbines, one on the hot side, one on the cold side. The cold side sucks in air from the outside, sends it out this outlet. Then the charged air goes through the charge pipe here, through an intercooler to cool off the air, thus making it denser, enters the intake and goes into the engine where it is then compressed even more and then explodes, thus powering your engine.
Honestly, I feel like we can get this turbo kit 100% on today.
You agree, Nolan?
Mm-hmm. All right,
Yeah.
yeah, you guys have 90 minutes. So.
We got 90 minutes to put this turbo kit in the Z or my wife's gonna leave me.
I expect this install is going to be a little bit more in-depth than theirs. For one major reason, we're replacing our exhaust manifolds. It shouldn't be too bad. Hopefully we can get it done inside of 2.5 days. I think that's reasonable. It's just car parts. Is it loosening? No. I mean, like you're tightening. Oh yeah. All right, so we got our cross member down. Now we're pretty much ready to take the subframe out, which is some big bolts, the engine mounts. We got to disconnect the steering rack and then some suspension components. Getting a sick workout, dog.
Thanks, dude. Getting a good pump going.
All right, that's the subframe.
Speaking of subs, if you like this video, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Doink.
All right, so now we are just on our straps up top, engine's hanging. We'll bring the car down and then bring the engine down a little bit so we have more room in here. Actually, I'm gonna pull the cats off first, then we'll do that.
Tigers are number one cat in my book.
That's right. Tigers
Lions are pretty cool too.
Lions are like smaller than tigers. Lions are compared to tigers. What? It's true. Straight up.
Yeah.
Spend 5 minutes on the internet looking up tigers.
Biggest lion in the world is probably $150.
Yeah.
Because this was a cheaper kit, we found ourselves in a situation where we're missing some hardware that was pretty essential in order to install this whole thing 100%. So we had to go to the tractor supply shop, which happened to be right up the street, pick up some grade A hardware that we use to hook up the exhaust manifold to the turbo, and from the turbo to the downpipe, and now we can fully install the thing.
Taking the hood off so you, the viewers at home, can have a better view of the engine bay as we put the turbo in. Yeah, we do it for you, all right?
This is a really tight engine bay, not a lot of room for activities.
Or man-sized hands.
So in order to get a little more space, we're gonna drop the engine down.
This is basically what we've been getting ready for all day, getting stuff out of the way. We've got some coolant lines out of the way, subframe out of the way, engine mounts disconnected, exhaust off, all that stuff. To get to this point, Andy, you wanna hit it? We're gonna raise the car and the engine will kind of stay where it is for a few inches. That'll give us more room from underneath.
So far, it's been a day of taking stuff off, which isn't that fun. More of a fan of putting stuff on. But we're almost done taking stuff off, and then we get to the fun part.
Once the oil goes through the turbos, they need to come back into the pan. So rather than having to tap this thing, the Jim Wolf kit comes with a spacer.
Single lady, oh the single lady,
Oh my God,
All right, so we just burned like 4 hours trying to resolve our clamp issue. We got some real V-band connectors here. Just feels like a much more solid unit, and you know, hopefully it works, because otherwise we're kind of screwed.
So far, our kit is
Going up. Doesn't want to go down.
You good?
Hopefully. It was going
Okay.
up on its own. Like a ghost. Oh, why did we get the cheap lift?
These guys can't catch a break. So
So our wastegate hits on our subframe. What we're gonna do is we're gonna reposition the wastegate in a down position like so. Fire is gonna come out of the bottom of our car. And on purpose.
Our manifolds are finally in place. It took longer than I was hoping. Now we got to throw some studs into the turbo manifolds to give the turbos something to be mounted with. The moment we've all been waiting for. Snails going into their home.
yeah.
I have the nuts I will hand you.
So the decision that I didn't want to have to do, we tried our hardest to make this work without removing the AC, and we're gonna have to do it. And I'll just have to drive to Albuquerque with the windows down.
Turbos are on! TTO! Turbos technically on! TTTO! That's code TTTO, everybody! Stands for Twin Turbos Technically On!
Maybe, because it makes sense to give the O2 sensors priority.
Okay.
Not sure if that's the way that it's actually going to go, but we can try and see if it'll fit. Since we don't have directions, we don't know which way it goes.
Oh shit, ow.
Wedged in between the engine and the rest of the engine bay. It's just a really tight fit. This car was super fun at its stock horsepower.
This whole thing, it's been real tedious. It's been a lot of up and down.
Right now, this is not worth the money. It's not worth the trouble.
But like we've been saying all along, it's a really tight engine bay.
We have missing hardware. The don't fit right.
This is going to leak.
But we're getting it really right, so.
We've tried every which way so far on the down tube. It's not fitting, so we're gonna modify it a little bit. I hope it works. Bad news. We were trying to put it in backwards the whole time. Yeah.
it makes sense to do it like this. Makes sense.
And I just want, that downpipe has to go through that. Just such a simple thing that we didn't figure out. Makes it kind of, takes a little air out of it. But hey, now tomorrow we'll come back, we'll get it attached, we'll get the turbo done. I'm over it now.
Assembling my gangster exhaust. Check out these welds, baby. This thing is so light.
No, you can do a better VQ than that.
It looks like we have hit another snag. I feel like we can get this turbo kit 100% on today. Issue is, this is kind of like all we've been given for our drain, and they're trying to return the oil through the same bung on the oil pan where the pressure sensor is. So we're gonna have to find a solid solution to return the oil from the turbo back into the actual pan without clogging up too much space, but we're kind of on a time constraint, so we'll see what we come up with.
Just opened up the exhaust box, and our exhaust doesn't fit.
Doesn't fit?
No.
What do you mean?
There's no tubes.
Oh man, that sucks.
What we're gonna do is use the exhaust that came on the car, which wasn't the stock exhaust to begin with. Someone went to a shop, got a muffler delete, and it already sounds pretty good.
And you'll make maybe like half a turn and then do like a little wiggle back. Half a turn, a little wiggle back. That doesn't help.
Can we get some tools that freaking work here? God, I'm sick of this crap.
I think we're not really gonna have any issues, any big issues left. I shouldn't really say that, but that's how I'm feeling. They might be feeling a little bit of doubt because they've been having a struggle. But sometimes that's how it goes, especially when you're buying cheap parts.
Well, we ran into another setback. I feel like we can get this turbo kit
100% on today.
The bung that they supplied us to drain our oil from the turbo back into the pan is actually aluminum, and our pan is steel. We're definitely not going to be drilling any holes in the block of our VQ to put the aluminum bung on there, so we're going to have to figure something else out.
We're plumbing up the intercooler. It's a really trick piece, fits really well. I mean, look how it just like follows the shape of the car.
We are gonna relocate this bung, which we will use to fit the factory narrowband sensor. So we're relocating it because we had the sensor in here, but it was pinching on another tube. So we're relocating it over here, and that will give us space to install it without having any snags and allowing us to run all the OEM sensors. It's been a long day.
That'll work.
Now that we have the downpipe finally fitted and exhaust fitted, I feel like we're in a good spot right now. You know when you go hiking and you're like taking forever to go over a hill? By the end of tonight, our hike will be over, our turbo will be in. Hopefully we'll be able to start it up, and I'm really excited to hear how it sounds. I think it's gonna be wicked.
Feeling great, looking great. I think, and then we're gonna be good.
Yeah, and I feel like they're feeling better too.
Yeah, I just went over there. Things are looking better. There's stuff bolted up. There's a turbo in there. They're getting ready to work on the intercooler.
I feel like both teams are at the point where we're almost done.
Yeah.
And there's so much
There's a little
more
tension
stuff to do.
Yeah. Oh, sick. Hell yeah.
Turbo back together?
Turbo back together.
I hate waiting. You know, this would be a lot more fun if we had the parts all in front of us.
Right.
And we could just go ham on it, but we can't. We're like waiting, and then like, oh, we find another weak spot that we need to find another part for. It's just very frustrating.
Oh, we got everything in and it didn't quite fit. So now we're just cinching and kind of trimming, and the hood is hitting right here on the air filter. And if it's like this, then it closes, but with our pipes, there's no way that it can angle like that.
Just push on it. So I need the zip tie.
Well, if you want a shop tour, you can
Sign up.
sign up for one.
So ours is under-engineered and your guys' is over-engineered.
Give it a go. Can that sensor come out in that position? Oh, it worked.
Make sure if you're installing a new turbo, you prime it. Do that, you unplug the ECU, and then you turn the key so the engine will turn over without starting.
And we do that to get oil pressure to it. You need oil in the turbo so it can spin.
Or else it'll seize up. It'll burn just
up.
like the French seized France on Bastille Day.
Yeah, hook it up. Yeah! I hope when we hook the ECU back up, it starts.
We're putting some duct tape on the charge pipe because it is too small. They didn't give us the correct couplers to complete this kit without, modifying it in a really janky way. But this is what we got to do to make this work.
All right, well, the oil pressure light didn't go out, but that's definitely enough cranking to prime a turbo, so we'll go with it. I think we're gonna be all right, but we just put a lot of aftermarket stuff in this car, so anything could be amiss.
Okay, so the mass airflow sensor housing that we bought last night to complete our intake side of the turbo is too small. It is the wrong part. They sent us the wrong part. Maybe we didn't request the right part, whatever. Anyway, so as you can see, the flanges are way different size, but the diameter of these inner openings are the same. And what we're gonna do is cock it diagonal a little bit, and fit it up, because we're just done with this.
Key on.
The moment of truth.
I wanna make sure that we hear the fuel pump. Yeah. Try it. Try it again. Sweet. Okay. We're gonna try it one more again.
Moment of truth, take two.
I think we need gas.
Funny.
So the fuel sending unit was disconnected.
Oh.
So we're not actually out of gas, which is...
Yeah, it wouldn't stop it from starting,
Right,
but
right. But let's give it a shot. And
so
just
it's
see
maybe
what's
bad
up.
news.
Keep going. Okay, we've got an issue. That's a fact.
Nah! They did all the stuff, and now it's not even working! That's why you only like talking about cars and not touching them. There's everything you need to know to get up to speed on this car that started. We ruined it, man. It was so good. Take it all off. Something's burning. We think it's our starter.
Yo, it was just on fire.
Burn right through this line right here.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that'll do it.
What's wrong?
Huh?
What's wrong?
Nothing. Our car caught on
You
fire.
look like you saw an ex-girlfriend. The one that got away.
Are you guys almost done?
No,
Oh.
I already got an oil leak. Yeah, what's up? It's still coming out of that sensor right there.
Oh,
Should we undo it?
where is it? Here?
Yep. Everything has to come off.
Everything?
Yep.
Something's wrong.
This car, I feel like is closer than that car. I think we have to hook up a boost fitting, put oil in it, and start it up. Pretty confident. We'll see though.
Just crank it.
Yeah!
Nice. The moment of truth, take 8 was the one. All right.
She starts.
You're good at building cars, man. Do you want me to just pin it on the limiter for a minute or two?
Break them in.
That's how you break it in.
You know, when I was a kid, my mom told me I could do anything. Went to UTI and confirmed that.
The oil cap down there is tightened. The oil filter's tightened. That cap thing, I'm too tired to even talk, dude. No, yeah, I hope we've got everything right. All right, we ready? All right.
Wait a second.
Bam. All right. So we're gonna try to start the car for the first time.
Was I supposed to put the oil in?
Yeah, we got that. All right. All right, here we go.
I hope their car starts.
All right.
We're going to Albuquerque, baby!
Just let it idle for a
Yeah,
little bit. Turbo power.
Yeah, man, it just got real. Both teams started. Both teams going to Albuquerque in their cars. We're gonna rip it up on the track.
All right,
This
hold
is
it
really,
again, like
really
you
cool,
know.
man. This is really,
Well, I know.
really great.
Oil.
Yeah, same spot.
Is it coming out faster though?
Yeah.
What's coming out of?
Really?
It's worse now.
Yeah. Can you just start it real quick? And then just turn it on and off. True nightmare stuff. All right, stop. We have a major issue.
Try to clean it down and let's see what we're looking at. Area.
So pretty much we have a hole or a crack in our block, which is not an easy fix. Our plan of attack is going to be clean this as well as possible and then put as much pressure on the actual cracked section to get all the oil out, slather a bunch of JB Weld on there, and hope to God that we can prevent it from spewing oil all over the place so we can get on the dyno.
All right. All right. Keep it in your pants. I think our car will definitely run. I don't think it'll run tonight, but I don't know if their car's gonna run. Ever. Again.
We're supposed to be done last night, but I ripped the neck of the radiator off by hand, which was sweet. So Andy, our shop hand, got us a new radiator. It showed up early this morning, so first thing I'm gonna try to slam that into the car, get some coolant in it, get it bled, and get this thing on the ground. We should have been driving last night, but I'll take today.
Our car might be broken still. We don't know.
It'll start. I don't know if it'll start without puking oil. If it's gonna hold, we're definitely gonna find out on the dyno.
We got a couple hours to get these boys boosting, maybe sleep a little bit, and then drive 12 hours in the sweltering heat to Albuquerque to kick the crap out of them.
So nervous.
Oh shit, sorry.
It will work though.
We need the green one. To make this worth it, when you start it, just keep your foot pinned. Don't lift.
I'm not gonna do that.
Just joking, don't do that.
You ready?
I think we're ready.
Okay. Here we go. Okay, 3, 2, 1. I hope that was a joke.
This is like what failure looks like.
You good, Nolan?
No, Eddie, not good. What the fuck
What'd you think, dude?
Real easy, real gentle. Treat her nice and treat you.
That sounds sick, dude. Dude, twin turbo V6s, man. That's a cool noise. All right, now let's go back to work on our broken car. All right, see ya.
It pulls hard at the top. Once you get it past 3,000 RPM, it's good. It's just something down at idle. Makes pulling out in the traffic an interesting affair.
So we've got a crank position sensor code. So I checked the wiring to the aftermarket piggyback. Looks good. I replaced it anyway, so it's definitely good. But we're still getting a crank position sensor warning, and I think that could cause an idle stumble like that. The bare bones facts are that if we needed to leave for Albuquerque right this second, we could do it. We could get on the highway with that. So it's a win.
Whoa, they don't weigh nothing.
Looks good to me.
This right here is gonna be the part that cracked. It's pretty thin right here. NPT fitting. This is the brass NPT that was supplied with our kit. Put it in and get this thing going again.
Idle feels better.
Idle feels like an idle.
Oh yeah! That's what it's supposed to feel like. Yeah. This thing rules, dude.
All right, as you can see, we're moving along really nicely. We got the upper oil pan RTV. We let it sit for about 15 minutes so it can get a little bit hard. That way we have a nice solid seal all the way around the bottom. We don't want any oil leaks. Once this is on, we can slap the rest of the car back together and we should be able to make it to the dyno. Both me and Nolan are not very familiar with the 350Z or this type of software. A couple of the tuners that we were supposed to go to had some unexpected things come up and we were a day late. So our buddy from Royalty Performance, Justin, is logged in onto TeamViewer remotely, and he is now going through the setup of our tune right now to where we'll have a nice solid base and we might even be able to get some pretty good power pulls. That's the actual base fuel map. The smoother that is, usually, it's a good representation of how smooth the car runs. I've seen quite a few that are real jumpy, and people might say that, yeah, it makes power, but the drivability isn't so good. Oh, nice.
Yeah, start taking out fuel out of the entire map.
So till it idles at 14?
You're adding. This is a really cool process.
That's why I was saying it's really important we have an up-rev tuner, because they'll know the software. Like Justin, he'd probably have it halfway done by now.
Yeah.
What was that? I'm smelling oil?
Yep. Pull it over.
We're out of gas.
Oh.
Can you follow us to a gas station? Great. And it's hard to go into first, too.
It's at 0, dude.
What? Oh my god, dude. Clutch is on the ground, bro. God, let's just try to get back to doing it.
Yeah. No stress here. Oh, green.
Oh my god. I'm just like smashing the clutch on it.
What was that? Oh.
Yes. Wow. That's no clutch. Went into gear. I'm just gonna limp it back like this.
All right.
Whoa.
Oh, lots of smoke.
Yeah, I'm seeing it. It's running fine. Yeah, it's still cold. Look.
Yeah.
It smelled like oil to us.
No, yeah, but it looks like a blown head gasket.
It's our blow by, because honest to God, I don't think it's draining out of the turbo correctly, because we're at the very low part of the oil pan and the drain sits right level with the motor, and I seriously think it's backing up into the turbo, and as soon as I lift, all that shit gets back. Yep.
Are you ready for this?
Yep.
Is this ready for this? Am I ready for this?
I don't think so.
In a pack of wolves, it's the strongest wolf that walks last.
There's two people this, and then in the middle is the sick ones, which makes sense for us
I
too.
think it's
And then the leader is actually in the back watching over the whole pack.
the wolf.
Alrighty guys, we're rolling out.
Oh man, you can smell that other car. All right, here we go.
2 weeks, we put together 2 turbo 350Zs.
Yeah.
And now we're straight up street sharking. Good for the team.
Uh-huh. Can't believe we're on the road. I see that needle jumping.
Is it?
Yep. Shit. And we have an engine light.
I don't want to alarm anybody, but we're getting crank sensor issues.
Copy, keep us posted.
Can you guys still drive when that sensor goes?
To a point.
To a point, yeah.
You guys look hard as from back here, I'm not gonna lie.
We feel pretty hard.
Yeah, we feel pretty hard.
But this fool wants something?
Get the off, dude.
Dude, this car definitely sounds better.
It's so ridiculous.
Down on power?
Yeah.
Well, let's keep driving. Hopefully it clears up like it did that one day.
The one thing I'm most worried about is definitely the clutch. I feel like it's given us problems this whole time, and if that fails, I know we can still drive the car, but if we come into traffic, it's gonna be a nightmare.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping we don't have to hit in traffic. Otherwise, we're definitely gonna make it.
I don't know. I just hope we make it. Do you think we're gonna make it?
We're gonna make it, bro.
All right.
For sure.
All right.
I'm just hoping we make it at this point.
Mm-hmm. The heat is,
That's honestly, that's what I'm real scared
it's
of.
pretty hot right now.
Yeah, it is. And we're not even in the desert yet. So we replaced our first crank sensor about, I don't know, 30, 40 miles in. And the idea was that in the past, every time we've replaced the crank sensor, the car runs great for like at least 40, 50, 60 miles. So we're like, well, worst case, we just replace crank sensors, 60 miles at a time. We replaced the first one and nothing changed. So the plan right now in this fine O'Reilly's parking lot is to rewire the signal wire from the crank position sensor to the ECU. So we're gonna try to reroute it creatively and see if we can sort this out.
We're not even close to Albuquerque yet.
Morale is low within the group. this parking lot for 5 hours. Zach rewired the crank positioning sensor, rewired the signal wire, which didn't do anything. Then we rewired the ground, didn't do anything. Then we cut out the piggyback box altogether. Turns out, we think when it was wired the first time, it was wired wrong and it fried the box, so not Jim Wolf's fault. So we took that out, and now we're running on a stock tune, which is a little bit dangerous, but if we behave ourselves, we should be able to get to Albuquerque in 10 hours.
The main thing right now is just making the cars drivable, so when we get to Albuquerque, we can get to our friend Dan's shop. Him and his boys can help us tune these things to perfection, and then we'll be able to hit the track in the afternoon.
And into the night.
And into the night, yeah. We're at a point where it's either we go for it, or we just go back home, and that'd be really lame.
Yeah, we're not taking an L.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
It's probably the smart thing to do. But,
Yeah, but it's not the fun thing to do.
But we're not smart, so let's do it. My car broke down.
We made it a few hours, but we started getting some more hesitation, but not really the same. It sort of feels like detonation. Not entirely sure. We're on the side of the road right now. We're gonna try to make a decision. I'm not sure what we're gonna do.
I think we should drive it into the Grand Canyon.
Hey guys.
It's 4 in the morning. We're on the side of the road. We're still like 50 miles from Flagstaff. So we're like 6 hours away from Albuquerque still. We're gonna get there probably at like noon, the rate we're going. And then supposedly we'll have the cars tuned at whatever. I don't know. I'm like, this isn't a bit. I'm legitimately angry. I mean, what were we thinking? What were we thinking?
Sure one's going here though.
I think probably. All right, we are here at NM Imports. We're finally gonna put our car on the dyno. We're gonna see how much power it makes. I'm really excited. I have a newfound fourth wind at this point. That was honestly the longest drive of my life. Back to the point. We're gonna tune the cars. We're gonna get our up rev system running perfectly. These guys know exactly what to do. I don't know if you guys have looked around here, but there are a bajillion Nissans, and they say they know pretty much everything about up rev. So hopefully this works out, and we can have a car that we can really put our foot in and have fun with.
Two major concerns are the stock injectors running out of fuel, and there's not a whole lot of heat management around the turbo. I personally like twin turbo kits because it keeps the heat down where the cats were. With a lot of the cheaper stuff is there isn't a whole lot of quality control. You have to be the quality control if you're gonna buy a cheap part. This is the MAF we had on the vehicle, but you can tell that this is actually probably the correct MAF for the kit because these are the pre-drilled holes, and then there's holes drilled for a smaller MAF. Sorry.
That's all good. We're in a time crunch. Definitely not ideal, and it's a perfect example of it biting you in the ass.
I can't take much more of this. I think we're on the right track, finally.
It's hard to be hopeful.
It's hard to be sure.
At this point in our lives.
But that's 3 good runs in a row with an OEM Nissan crank sensor. I'll drive it to the track, see what happens.
So after 800 miles, multiple breakdowns, and the longest week of either of our lives, we have some numbers. First, the baseline. High car started out with 212 horsepower. Low car started out with 244. We're not quite sure why we started out with a 30 horsepower difference on identical cars. Low car did have a muffler delete and a cold air intake. We don't think that that would make that big of a difference. Maybe low car, ironically, was maintained better than high car. How much power did both of these turbo kits add to our cars?
I'm looking forward to
the numbers, please. Thank you, Jesse. After your eBay single turbo kit,
really building it up.
You ended with a whopping 302 horsepower. Get a nice 60 horsepower gain.
60.
You almost killed yourself for 60 horsepower. High car with the Jim Wolf turbo kit made 334 horsepower to the rear wheels. High car started with 40 less horsepower than low car. So while low car added about 60, high car added a whopping 122 horsepower. I want to point out that both cars were on stock injectors. We don't really have a great reason for why we did that other than the fact that we ran out of time.
A production oversight.
Yeah.
Which there have been many.
As we learned a lot in this episode. So, Nolan, my boy, does more expensive mean more better?
I have complicated thoughts on this.
So do I.
The low turbo kit was.
I mean, you guys saw it.
Yeah, I lost hope multiple times. Regained it though through the power of teamwork and friendship. Yeah.
So,
even just a simple diagram would have helped so much. Sorry, James, I'm gonna keep going. Like, in that regard, more expensive does mean more better. Where I'm not so sure it absolutely means more better is the end result, because we didn't have the injectors to match.
Yeah, once we get injectors, we're both going to be butted up against the 400 horsepower limit for stock internals. So at that point, it's just single turbo versus twin turbo. Answer the question.
Yeah.
Answer the question.
In this regard, yes.
What are you, a politician?
More expensive is more better for now.
You should run percentage. Which one would you buy, Nolan?
Well, now that I know how to do it, I would get the low turbo kit again. Yeah. Now that I know it, I could do it again I think pretty quick.
I would not buy either of them. I think the Jim Wolf.
I didn't know that was an option.
Yeah, we could have put a 2J in either of the cars. We could have put an LS.
I'm gonna get those injectors on there. We're gonna tune it up. You're gonna see this baby in some Pro-Am events soon.
You're gonna drive it once and it's gonna explode.
Nope.
If you're wondering why we drove to Albuquerque, New Mexico, you will find out in the next episode, where we take both cars, both complete cars, and put them head to head. A $13,000 350Z build versus a $41,000 350Z build. It's a really, really fun episode, and it's the conclusion of this season of HiLow. So make sure you don't miss that. Follow Nolan on Instagram at Nolan J Sykes. The J stands for James. Follow me on Instagram at James Pumphrey, and of course,
follow Eddie at Edward Skedward.
Yeah.
Eddie Esparza. I forget what he's at. Be nice.
I love you. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. We're not going to let you guys go without seeing a little racing. So check out this drag race. The results might not surprise you. Give him a rev.